first thing we do is turn on our SAS, because that is important, and launch. So now that contract has been done. Oh. Hello everybody, and welcome back to some Kerbal space program. And so in the last episode we had a few more problems, but I've been playing a little bit, and I think I've got some things figured out here. So let's just head back in to our wonderful spacecraft creation area. So last time we made this rocket, right? So this is the one that we were just trying to, and I call it let's just get high, because we were just trying to get up there. And we did a bunch of stuff, and Jeb survived, although he didn't come back with his rocket ship. And I got some comments about the construction of this and some other things to do with the game. First of all, Takeover Artist 1987 says it's really fun to watch somebody new playing Kerbal Space Program because you know, all of the crazy things that happen. One of the other things that he was saying, so in our crew, I've been taking pilots and scientists and engineers and stuff here and there, depending on. But in one of those previous missions, this was I think from episode 3 actually, I had the science module on here, right? If I open up the science, so this science module, and I was actually on EVA trying to pull the stuff out of it, I think. And you actually have to have a scientist in your crew to be able to do that. So thank you very much for that. Also, he was saying that I should take surface EVAs. Now, I didn't see that option before, but it looks like, and we're gonna have to do some upgrade in these buildings, but if I look at here, when I click over here, you'll see that it says Kerbals can do EVAs and collect surface samples. So I probably have to upgrade this before I can do that, but I'll definitely do that once I have that ability. We don't have a whole lot of money right now, right? So this costs way more than we have. So today, I think what we need to do is try and get some funds so that we can upgrade some of these buildings. Because right now, the only thing we've upgraded is the complex, so we can do EVAs in space, right? The next upgrade will give us more here, but not too much. So I don't think we need to worry about this one right now. The ones that I kind of want to upgrade first, I think, are the mission control, because that gives us, right now we can only do 2 contracts at a time. This will let us do 7 contracts at a time. And it'll also give us the station tracking if we also upgrade the tracking station, right? This will give us the patched conics visible on the map. And the combination of these 2 things will actually let us do some like planning in space. And I played with it a little bit in a different world just to see what it was all about. And I'm still trying to learn how it functions. But that'll be cool. Excuse me. And the next 2 things that we definitely need to upgrade is this one here. So the vehicle assembly building. Right now, we have a maximum of 30 parts that we can build on any rocket. This will give us up to 255. And basic action groups, which I don't know what they are yet. And then the launch pad itself, right? So right now we have a vessel that's it's got some limitations in weight and size. And if we upgrade, it increases those, right? So we need to upgrade a bunch of these buildings, but we've only got so much money. So... Oh, and I didn't finish talking about, so one of the other things, actually, let's go back to the other ship, when we were using this one. So one of the other things that we were saying, or that Takeover Artist was saying, I'm pressing the wrong button, there we go. Was that, so when I was trying to keep storing the stuff back into the module here, I was actually trying to store a bunch of the same experiments in there, and you can't, like, I mean, obviously it makes no sense to store the same experiments in there, so definitely shouldn't do that. Into which you've taken it, if you get that message, you've probably already got it, so you can discard it. No big deal. Also, the experiments will actually get stored in here automatically when you board, so anything you're carrying should be stored automatically. And he was also saying, so when I was on the launch pad, try and get up to about 10,000 K and then slowly roll over to 45 degrees on launch, and maybe I won't go out of control. So I'll give some of that a try as well. I have been playing with my launches a bit too, and I think I've got it under control a little bit better. So Takeover Artist 1987 in episode 4 as well also said that he thought that the goo containers here were a little bit too high. And I think you're right. So they might have been interfering with the parachute as well, because this actually is the parachute, this whole piece here, and this is the capsule. So I should probably keep them not on the parachute. I'm thinking that might be a good idea. So Michael Hansey also told me about when you store experiments that you already have, you'll get the error message. Also, and to try landing in water for less fiery death. So we can definitely try and do that if we can change our trajectory, which is also something that JR was saying as well in episode 4, was try a flatter trajectory, and also that we can increase the minimum parachute. So when he said that, I forgot you can actually right click on these things, right? And so we got this minimum pressure. So we can increase that minimum pressure even to the highest setting should be safe. So we can actually like change these numbers. I don't remember what it was. Around and play with these numbers and altitude. This is when it'll actually deploy fully, right? So you can actually change when that all happens. I also found that you can manually work with these things as well, and I'll show you a little trick I discovered as we do that. And the last thing that JR said was that, of course, Jebediah, our amazing pilot, didn't die in the last mission because he is just a badass. And it's not swearing if you're talking about donkeys. Sorry, Jeb. But yeah, so that's thank you all for the comments, and I really appreciate them and all of the help that you guys have provided. If I missed anything, I'm really truly sorry. I don't mean to, but the next thing that we need to do now is we need to collect some money. So I've also noticed over here we have this administration building, and we looked at this a little bit a while ago, but right now we're all about trying to get science, right? So I've noticed that in here we've got these. So if I click on this unpaid research, we can basically use up some of our reputation gains to yield more science. Now, I don't know, in a setup cost of 35 fame, I can't actually see, like, I'm assuming that little star is our fame, but I can't see a number anywhere. So I'm thinking that maybe it makes sense to maybe turn on some of these things as well, to get more science. Like when we get to the point where we have lots and lots of science, maybe we'll need more money or more fame, who knows, right? And so here we can get unpaid research program to give us more science, and we can also do outsourced R&D, which takes some money and gives us more science. So it costs quite a bit of money. So right now money is on a bit of a demand. So I'm not going to do that, but I think I will make a commitment to do. I sure you want to activate the strategy. It can be modified once. It can't be modified when activated. Okay, but we want science, so yes, I'm going to turn that on. We've got this program here. This will give us more science. Cancel strategy. Well, okay, so I can kill it. The other thing here was that this. Oh, okay, yeah, so I can only do one at a time. That's another reason why we would upgrade this. So right now I can only have one strategy at a time. If I upgraded this, then I can do 3. And I can increase my commitment as well. So right now I can do a maximum. So we'll just see what that's all about, right? So we got this going. We'll leave that running. That should hopefully give us a bit more science. We could have increased our amount of fame that we were giving to that, but right now I think it's early days, so we probably don't want to do too much of that. The next thing that we want to do to get some money is in here. There's a bunch of contracts that we can take on. Now, we can only have 2 contracts at the most right now. So what I'm thinking is let's upgrade this guy to, so I'll take some of our money. Now we're down to 200,000. But now we can take on 7 contracts at a time. And we got some stuff in here that we can do, like these test missions, testing stuff for different companies. So this Thumper solid fuel booster state, the solid fuel booster. And this one is basically really simple, it looks like. So perform test actions. This, it says somewhere in here that, yeah, at the launch site. So we don't even have to, we just have to test it there. So we have to test it at the launch site. So we'll take this contract. We have the hammer. This is a solid fuel booster as well. So we'll be testing another solid fuel booster. And this one has to be done at between the altitudes of 3,000 meters and 7,000 meters. And it's got to be going between 100 and 900 meters per second. So let's take that one as well. And the last one we have here that I think I want to take right now is this one here about testing the radial decoupler. And this one has to be done at 16,000 meters, or between 16 and 18,000 meters, and between 100 and 600. So it has to be going slower than the other one, or the max of the other one. So let's take those 3 contracts. They're sitting up in here. So we've got all those contracts ready to go. And so we want to basically make ourselves a quick little test pod. Actually, there was also, I think there was, do we have a contract for... Oh, I know what it is. We've got, we actually have some science that we can, so we've got 30 science here. And in here, so we can upgrade and get some different things going on here, and then we can upgrade and get, so we have enough to get the basic rocketry, and we also have enough to get the research, 18 points, right? So I think what I want to do is, or the research 18 points, I mean the stability. I think I want to grab the stability first, and then we can grab some better rocket stuff later. So let's research this. And that takes us down to 12, so we can't get this one quite yet. But now we've got some better things for making our stability, and stability was a problem in the past. If we go back here, is there anything else now? Contracts. So this is at 80,000 meters. I don't want to worry about that one too much yet. We'll do that, I think, as our next test mission. This one is also in orbit. Decoupler, this one's also in orbit. So these all need to be tested when they're in orbit. So that sounds like a good mission to do on their own. Visual surveys we'll look at a little later. Some of the research I've done says that these are much easier to do with an airplane. So when we get building airplanes, we will do those. And then ferrying tourists to locations. We might need an airplane to do that, or maybe they want to go into suborbit. We'll see. And then lastly, of course, we want to do these orbiting missions. So that's all the missions that we can do, looks like. So if we head back into here, let's build ourselves a rocket. So let's make a new guy. Let's make a new rocket. We're going to call this our Just Test It rocket. And let's grab our normal starting. So we got one of these dealies. And obviously we're going to need our parachute. There we go. Put the parachute on top. And so this one isn't going to be too much about science unless we can... Because I think we've done the goo at different altitudes already, but maybe we should bring the goo just in case. We'll see here what this thing looks like when we're done. So we might want to take the goo. We probably do want to take whoops, communication guy. Let's stick that. Actually, that probably is safe to put on the. It's all crooked. Why are you all crooked? Whatever. I'll stick him on there. I've discovered that this is actually used for, you can actually send your stuff back to the planet right away, but it does cost. So we can look at that as well. So what are the things that so if we go over here, here's our contracts. Let's rip this up. So the first thing we definitely need to test this thumper fuel. So, right, so let's grab, that's the thumper. So we've got this. So stick him on there maybe for now. Oop. Again, wrong button. So we've got this. This guy needs to be tested for sure. And this guy's got to be tested on the launch pad. So he should be the first one to fire. The next one that we need to do is this hammer fuel, solid fuel. So where's the hammer? Hammer, solid fuel booster. So we need one of these. And we got to test that one at the next level up. So if I take this guy off. So we kind of want to do them maybe in this order, right? So first we would test this, then we would test this, and when we get to that height. And the last thing we want to do is test the T88 38K radial decouplers. So these guys here. So these guys need to be tested last. And so let's see here. Let's put those back. Actually, I'm thinking, because this is going to get us going really fast, I imagine. And we don't want to test these until we're up a lot higher. So I'm thinking, why don't we let's take that off of there and let's grab some of this solid fuel. Oh, we're gonna need a heat shield for that. Where's the heat shield? I was getting better at where all these things live. Ah, where are you? Heat shield. Okay, so the heat shield definitely has to go on the bottom of that. This is how we're coming back to the planet, is with this guy. And then we will need a decoupler. Stick that on there. And I want just maybe a couple of these. Oh, and I figured out how this works. So you can actually take one of these, put it on there, right? Grabbing it from over here. And if you hold down Alt and click on it, it duplicates it. And then I can put it down. And now the cool thing too is, so there's 2 of them highlighted. If I Alt click on the top one, I can actually put 4, and then I can take, you know, so it can actually do quite a bit of pretty cool stuff. But I think I only need 2 of these for what I'm planning right now. And we need a liquid fuel engine on there. So this is our going to be our final bit of the rocket, okay? This bit here. So I'm going to have to make sure I redo all that stuff as well. So this is going to be our final bit of the rocket. Next thing we need to do is take our decoupler. And I've also noticed that you have to be really careful about where you place these. So if I hear like this. Oh, it looks like it maybe did work that time. Sometimes it wasn't actually connecting properly and not actually putting it up and over here. So you have to be a little bit careful about how you connect those decouplers. All right, so now we've got a stage that has some, and we want these decouplers to be now being symmetrical is super important. So I'm going to actually put one of these on either side, like right there, and we're going to test those. Now, what are we going to test them with, you may ask? We're just going to put a couple of these bad boys on here. Now, I don't really want, so if I place those on here, and then we rotate this thing so that they're side by side, like that, and then offset them so that they come out and up. So they're attached, hopefully, to those things like that. Let's do that. Now it is symmetrical, but it's kind of funny looking symmetrical, but whatever. Hopefully that'll be fine. So these are what we're going to decouple. I don't even know if I need these on here, but it just feels like there should be something there for these things to actually let go of. I don't know, maybe. So anyway, so we've got that. Now we need to actually get these 2 guys on here, right? So if I grab him, I should be able to put him on here like that. And this piece now needs a decoupler as well, like that. All right, so that's the basic rocket that we're going to try and fire, right? That takes care of all of these different things. So we've got the decouplers on there, we've got the hammer on there, and we've got the thumper on there. We are at 16 parts right now. We can do a maximum of 30 and a weight max, so we got to be careful about that. But we do want some stability on here. So we've got these bigger winglets now. And so if we put 4 of those on this, that should give us like some better stability going up, right? And now we're up to 20 parts. And if I take, say, maybe the little winglets, and put them on this next one here, because this one is also going to get fired while we're still kind of like in the lower atmosphere, right? So we put those on there and put those on there. We're up to 24 parts. But I think we're getting pretty close to being done, this rocket. So I don't think we've got that. We could take some goo and put it on here. And now I'm going to do what was suggested. Oops, again, wrong one. Where I put these right there, not too high. So I'll put the goo right there. Keep it nice and even, I think. Okay, so we got the goo on there. These things are actually worrying me now. Probably want to put them so that they're more in line. So yeah, let me just get that sorted out and I'll be right back. Okay, so I think we've got a rocket that'll work here. So I fixed that up. That looks a lot better, I think. And I've fixed up all of this over here. So the staging is going to be the bottom one first, then the decoupler, then the next solid state one, then the decoupler, then it's going to be the liquid state guy, and then we'll have these decouplers. Now the reason I want the liquid state guy is because I figure that these two are we're gonna get to where we want to be, and then like we'll probably want to like start this one up, get flying a little bit, but then when we get close to when we get to within range where this one needs to be fired off, we'll fire it. But I think we kind of just want to get rid of them pretty quick, even if we're not out of fuel, because the next contract, right, is when we get to this height here. So I figured we'll kind of get going up pretty quick with these guys, and then we'll use this liquid state guy to get us the rest of the way, because we want to make sure that we're not going too fast. And the solid state ones will just go. Like, you can't slow them down, you can't stop them. When they start burning, they burn, and they burn forever. And we'll get going at like crazy speeds out of the atmosphere, and we don't want that. So that's kind of my plan on those. And then when we get to this, between this range and this everything here, then we let these guys go. We disconnect the whole thing at that point, and we let ourselves fall back into the atmosphere. We can do some experiments if we want, see if we can collect a little bit more science. I don't know if we'll get anything from that goo, because we might have already done that at that height. So this is the plan. So we got this guy here. Let's save him. This is our... We'll go launch this rocket. I didn't check who was in the cockpit. Who do we got? Jeb. Sure. I need a pilot anyway, because I want this thing to be fairly stable on launch. So let's see if we can do this. Let's go bring up our contracts menu here. Right. Oh, can I make this bigger? Nope, that's as big as it can go. So I can move this around. I can actually see all of the contracts here as we fly. And these things will start checking off as we go. So... everything looks like it's staged correctly. Now we want to watch this, and so first thing we do is turn on our SAS, because that is important, and launch. So now that contract has been done. Oh, so we can close that one up. And once we get to about 3,000 meters, we want to do this contract, which is to get rid of this guy and start this guy up. And I have to make sure that every time you disconnect one of these things, it seems like you lose your SAS. So I need to turn that back on. And we're flying. Oh, fire. Okay, we did the next contract. Turn the SAS back on. Oh, it wasn't off that time. Now we're going pretty fast. 3,000. Okay, I'm gonna fire the next rocket and slow us down. Okay, I don't want to go too fast. When we get to 16, so we're still going up here. We're still going. Okay, let's go. 16. Slow us down. Fire those off. We did all the contracts. Boom. Okay, and we can get rid of that. And we're kind of done at this point. Now, of course, that's still on there, so we're still going up. Let's take a look at the map. How are we going to end up here? What's our speed going to take us to? About 40,000 still. And this time, you'll see, we're going to end up in the water. So we could have probably done some more stuff here. We're still going up. Okay, so I think we've hit our max. We might have even been able to get up to 80,000 with this little arrangement, but nope, too far. Let's just keep going on up. So now that we're up here, we're at 40,000 feet. We are in the full atmosphere. I'm pretty sure we've done goo experiments up here before. So let's just do another goo experiment. Goo seems to be... Oh, wow. So no, we did... Maybe we haven't. So let's take that data. So now here you see that we've got... if we take the data, we get this much science. And if we transmit it, we lose a whole bunch, right? So we're going to take that data. And I'm going to do another crew report here at 40,000 feet. And I'm going to transmit this. See, I can transmit it for full science. I'm going to transmit that. Then we're going to do, and hopefully not lose our guy here, we're going to do EVA, and we're going to do an EVA report, and we're going to transmit it. Oh, no, I can't. I'm going to do keep it, and then we're going to get back into the ship so we don't lose it. The reason I couldn't transmit it at that point was because I wasn't in the ship and I didn't have access to this, I'm pretty sure. So we are still going up. Oh no, we're coming back down now. Okay, so now we're on our way back down. We're at the full height of the atmosphere here. So let's turn it. Whoa. Let's turn ourselves. Okay. Oh, I don't have SAS on. That's why. Okay, let's turn ourselves so that we are facing the right way into the atmosphere so we don't burn up. We got our heat shield on this guy. I'm waiting until we get down to maybe this blue range here to do the last goo. I'm going to see if we can maybe get some more goo experiment out of that. And actually, while we're coming down here, and oh, actually, I learned too that so that the comma and the dot lets you speed up and slow down time. So up here, you can see there's this time here. So if we want to get down a little bit faster, I can hit this, and I can go to warp times 2, right? Warp times 3, and then we're going to be descending quicker and quicker and quicker. And we're getting really close now. I'm going to slow this down because I want to get back to the right trajectory here. Okay, we're in the atmosphere. Let's do this mystery goo experiment. And oh, we don't get a whole lot for that. Okay, we've done that one already before. So we're coming in. Now the next thing that we can do too is I can right click on this and look at this. Deploy it is unsafe to deploy right now. So we're not going to deploy right now. We're going to wait. It's coming through the atmosphere. It's unsafe. We're coming down. It's still unsafe. But I could play with these things as well. It's risky and it's safe. So now I can deploy this. I didn't even use my stage because that was way easier. And then we're coming on down. I think I'm learning, guys. And then it deploys fully. We have a successful parachute. We brought him back down to the ground, and good old Jeb gets to keep his pod this time. And so here's another, like, we're coming down to the ground. We can speed this up a little bit so we get back down to the ground quicker. And there we go, back to normal speed, 5 meters away from the ground, ready for the touchdown. I think we did pretty good on this mission, guys. And sploosh! Look at that. Everything is wonderful. So we've done a bunch of stuff. Now, I don't remember if we've done, so we've never been in the water before. So if I actually do a crew report here, and that gives me some more science, and I can just transmit that. There goes my little boop, 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 boop. Oh, it's going to turn me over. Oops. Okay. And I actually want to do a little bit more here. So let's do an EVA, and he will jump out of the water. Now here in the water, I want to do an EVA report. And ooh, I got a bunch of science for that. Okay. And I'm pretty sure because I'm not in the pod. Let's just double check this. No devices, right, so I can't. So let's review the report and keep it. And I probably can't get back into this ship now because I turned it up on its butt. So what we're going to do is we're just going to recover the vessel. This will just recover me because I wasn't in there. So that gets me back in the data he has. So we got, ooh, well, look at that, 27 science and a bunch of reputation. Now if we go over to this station, we want to find... just test it. Right there, that's where we landed. And we want to recover that. Yep. And this gives us 43 more science. Look at that. Look at all the stuff we did. And we got our funds back. And this thing here, this is the crater. This is where we need to take the survey from. And we are like over here, I think, is where we are. But there you go. Look at that. We did a successful mission with the just test it. We did our contracts, I think. So if we go look at these contracts, we did the coupler, right? So we can discard that. We did the hammer. We did the thumper. And it looks like we have the old ones. Yeah, the old ones that we did in the previous ones, distance, recovery. But yeah, look at this. We got 43 science. So the first thing we want to do for sure now is get our next level of rocketry, right? So we've still got 23 science left, but we need 45 science for the next levels. But at least now we have all of this basic, and now we have new solid state and a bigger fuel tank for our solid states, and looks like a bigger booster, which probably means that now that we've done that, I bet you if we go in here, yep, we've got some new things that we can test as well. But I think the next one we want to get to orbit. So we're going to do some of these testing for orbit, maybe even, actually this is for like getting up into orbital distances. We can test all that, get some more money. We're going to do orbit really soon for sure. But now we've got a bit more money, so we could actually upgrade this for 225, right? Maybe we want to do that. Maybe we can upgrade this for a better launch pad. We could upgrade this, right? We can't do everything. So we did upgrade this guy already. I think that's good for a while. So we'll decide, I guess, in the next episode what I want to upgrade. You guys give me your opinions on what I should do next. And also, if you have any idea about how this stuff works, let me know. I think we got some more science out of that, so I wish there was a way to see how that worked. Maybe there was actually when we did the report. But I hope you guys enjoyed. We did our first testing mission, and I will see you in the next episode.